Hello and welcome to my Dissidia Omnia guide for beginners. This is let's start off with something that is important, which is something in the title screen. In the settings menu you can actually turn off all of the battle logs. This will probably not inconvenience you that much as a beginner because you will not have that many buffs flying across the screen. They will probably go away easily, but quite frankly, when you max limit break a character, when you fully built a character, or when you have fully built characters, all of those buffs flying across the screen, it's very annoying. So if you want to turn off the battle logs, this is where you do that. Point number 1. Point number 2, use your data. Make sure you update your supports regularly. This is actually a bit of a problem in my personal opinion, the fact that the supports, so let's say you have Cloud here, right, and the Cloud has an LD and you suddenly got Cloud's BT from the banner or whatever, whichever character, it doesn't have to be Cloud, whatever. Let's say that you got their BT and you decide to replace their LD with their BT. Well, if you only replace it on your character, it will actually not update on this screen, so you have to come back in here and pick another support, then choose your Cloud, and then Cloud will be updated to actually have the BT. Of course my Cloud doesn't have the BT and I have no intention of equipping his BT yet, but yeah, just keep that in mind. Try and keep your supports updated because it's very possible that your supports are out of date. If you change something about them, it's probably not there. And this is not a good thing. It's not a feature game. It's a bug. Fix it. Okay. Something else that you want to do, data backup. So you can link your account to your Google Play or your Square Enix account, but make sure that you log back in once. Otherwise you will lose your data if you delete the game and expect to have it when you log back in again. So by all means, just make sure that you log back in once, otherwise you will lose your progress. Alright, so that would be the title screen stuff. And they removed the stupid missions from here. What do you want, man? What did I do? Okay, change your support. Whatever, man. Okay. There they are. The banner of your the bane of every novice's existence. I consider this to be absolutely a travesty. These novice missions, you have to complete them. You listen to me, you have to complete them. They are so annoying. I can't believe that they did this. They actually locked off a pretty powerful feature behind those novice missions, which is your enhancement boards are locked until you complete the bloody novice missions, which is absolutely criminal. Don't let those novice missions survive. Just read whatever is written over there. For me, the only thing that I have is to enhance it up to level 11. I will show you how to get summons and how to enhance them, but I want to get rid of them. Okay, if it is at level 11, yeah, I can raise his level again, but I don't care. The only thing that I cared about is the training boards. Hello? Oh goodness, I actually have to receive it. You know what, game? You're just testing my patience as of right now, okay? It's not like you give me anything good with these things, okay? I can get them out of my face, goodness. Terrible. I can't believe that. That was something that I could not for the life of me believe, like, holy mother of God. No, thank you. Just get rid of that, please. Get rid of that condition. I don't want to see it in the game. Ah, goodness. We'll talk about training boards in a little bit. Holy, just don't let those things survive. That's priority number 0, okay? If you're a new player, get rid of those. Read whatever they're meant to do. Most of them, you have to build Cloud. You have to build Cloud at the very least to crystal level 70. Alright. So those should be some of the priorities. Let's talk a little bit about other priorities, and then we'll talk about crystals and all of that. Like, everybody wants to know about all of that. That's not the most important thing, okay? That's not the most important thing, okay? We'll talk about crystals, but let's talk about the important stuff first. So yeah, Novice Missions. Get rid of them. just get rid of them. Okay. Important stuff number 2 would be what do I want to say? I wanted to say something. Oh yeah, rank. Rank is the first thing that you need to focus as a beginner is definitely get rid of those beginner missions. Goodness, they should not exist. Okay, point number 1. Point number 2, rank. This thing, you want to get it to 200 as fast as humanly possible. That should be your first priority as a beginner, really. That one. How do you raise your rank? You raise it in 2 ways. By gaining characters, so per every 10 characters that you gain 1 level of rank. Per every 10 levels of your character, you also gain 1 level of rank. So those would be the 2 ways to raise your rank. How do you do that? You just clear these in hard mode. And I will walk you through, focus on Act 1 first and foremost. Act 1 is pretty easy for beginners, and it's easy to get a lot of characters. This Act 1 has by far the most characters that you can get. Lost chapters are a thing, and you get 78 characters off of this, but Lost chapters are actually a lot more difficult than Arc 1. Just focus on Arc 1, okay? Because Lost chapters are a lot more difficult than this one, but you can get something like, you get, I believe I got 5 from here. You get 8 from the first island. Well, you already start with 8 because this is the tutorial island, you have to do it. You get about 6 from this one, and if you continue, this is like most if you go to Arc 3, you already only get 1 character per chapter, which is already like the number of characters that you can get just decreases significantly. So I would focus on trying to get through these as fast as humanly possible, and I'll show you how you can get through them pretty fast, because you can actually auto farm them, and it's a little bit easy. Like I've gotten through, I think in about 24 hours I've gotten, well, I did more than just that, but let's say that I've gotten through quite a bit of the chapters, and it's not that difficult to go through them. After you finish the first island, and this is something that you can do right after you finish the first island, because they will be unlocked for you. You can come here to the event tab, and I recommend that you do these. Mog's Gem for Novices. Every character that you need in order to do these gems, I already perfected them, but it said that you didn't. You want to just bring the characters that are mentioned here. So let's say you want to bring they need Tifa and Rem for this one, and we can just bring Wall, and I'm just gonna do one of these because these quests are pretty low level. Honestly, like I think just the last one is a little bit scary if you don't have characters already leveled. So in my personal opinion, these are pretty easy to do. Just follow whatever the Mugo tells you. And all you have to do is bring the characters that are required from you, because we want to get and by the way, this is a new account. This is not my actual account. So what you want to do is you want to get these. In order to get these, you have to have Tifa in the party, Rem in the party, clear without any chaos. So Tifa and Rem are the two girls. Whoever is the third character doesn't matter. It can be an overpowered character. Let's say you build Cloud, bring Cloud. Let's say you build Squall, bring Squall, Lightning, bring Lightning, whatever. And just complete all of these. And why you want to complete all of these is because you'll get these tokens. Now I already got them and I already spent them. But let's talk a little bit about the silver tokens. So the silver tokens, all you need is the characters from Arc 1. You do not need a single character past the tutorial mission, which you should have already unlocked before you get this menu unlocked. So that's the reason why I say complete them. Now for the silver, because you only get silver from the novice, these are from the intermediate ones. So for the silver ones, you don't want to get these because these are farmable. They're literally infinite resources. Don't even bother with these. What you want to do as a beginner is you want to focus on these actually. Not with those. Come on. Where are they? Goodness. Okay, bottom of the barrel right here, these two. This is what you want. As a beginner, this will be the resource that you will not have a lot of, and actually this is the only resource that you will not be able to get your hands on very quickly, just because the summon boards are so pressing in the beginning. So I would honestly recommend that you spend all of these on this. Everything else you can farm for free, and you can farm infinite numbers of, so don't bother with anything else. The only thing that is not farmable here is the chocobo feathers, and personally don't bother with these. Like, look at me, I've been here for 2 days now. I still have 97 of these because they're just a way to speed up leveling up characters. They are not that relevant, so don't even bother with these. What you want to bother with is these. This is what you want to get as a beginner. You will be lacking these resources, and only for the silver. For the gold, you don't want to get these. Don't do that to yourself. Just get these for the silver. So with the silver, you want to get those. Why? Because now it's time that we talk about characters. Okay, let's start talking about characters, and now you will see why we need those. We need those bad. But first, characters. Your characters have two ways of leveling up: your crystals and your actual levels. Now in order to increase your rank, this is the thing that matters, but the crystals matter as well, because crystals actually limit the amount of levels that your characters have. So for example, if your character is at crystal level 1, then your character can go at a maximum to level 50. If you want your characters to go to, let's say, level 60, you have to bring their crystal to 51. At crystal level 51, and you can actually see, if you click on the character, not this one, this one. Okay, so if you click on the character, you will see that at crystal level 51, it will increase the level cap by 10. And by level cap, it means this one, not this one. This one's the one that you level purely by leveling your crystals, but this one, it will increase by 10 at crystal level 51, and if you want to get them to 70, you have to go to 61, which increases their crystal level cap by 10 more, and if you want to go to 80, you have to go to 71. Now, all of your characters can actually be leveled up to level 60 without any kind of, let's say, repercussions, because all up until level 60 I don't think that's gonna show me what I want. Okay, irrelevant. So up until level 60, all of these crystals are farmable. You can farm them up until you hit cap, and you can just go back and farm them again after you waste them. So up until level 60, you can essentially waste all of the crystals that you want, because everything is farmable. It's free. The missions for these, to farm these, are available as soon as you get off of the first island. So literally there is nothing stopping you from leveling all of your characters up to level 60. Now after level 61 we have these kinds of crystals. These are not farmable. Okay, these are not farmable. You want to be careful who you take up to level 70 or 80, because these are also not farmable. These are the crystals for level 70 and beyond, and these are not farmable. These are for level 80 and beyond, and these are also not farmable. The way you get these from chaos events. Chaos, that is level 160 if I'm not mistaken. If you're struggling with level 100 quests, you should not be worrying about level 80. Period. Just don't worry about them, okay? That means you haven't done your summon board. That means you're not ready for those levels. These you can get from the story mode. I've seen them drop from stories. I've seen them drop from lost chapters. So they're not that rare, but they're not that easy to obtain. These are very rare. As a new beginner, you will find these to be very rare, and you should be very sparing with who you take up to level 80. It should be units that you intend to use, and it will help you clear content. With these, however, you can be a little bit more lenient. Like, you can take characters to level 61 in order to raise their levels to level 70 so that you can raise your rank, but I would not recommend it. Level 60 and level 50 are more than enough to raise your rank. Okay, so that's how we level characters. Let's say I have Lightning over here. I could take her to level 65. I don't want to. I don't want to because she's coming up, and Bart is here, and I want to raise Bart as well, so I'll leave Lightning at 60 for now. What I did was I essentially raised the crystal level for the characters that I'm interested in building. I know I'm going to build these three because there's the Start Dash banner. We'll talk in a little bit about that banner. So I decided to raise these three to 61. I know Squal, I know Warrior of Light is coming up, but depending on when you're watching this video and what characters are currently on the banner, you might have different priorities. Like, I know Tifa's coming up and she's gonna be busted. Bart is here and he's busted. I want to raise those instead of Lightning, for example. Because you will have characters competing for the same crystal type. So for example, Bart, Lightning, and Tifa are both yellow crystal characters, and I don't have the resources to focus on all of them, so I'm just gonna focus on the ones that I care about and bring them up to level 70. I would say it's pretty good already. So in my personal opinion, I wouldn't focus on level 80 unless it's really that important, and I think Tifa's gonna be just fine at level 70. If I get her LD, I won't care. So that's the reason why Cloud is probably the only one at level 70, because I don't remember caring for a blue character that's coming up anytime soon, so I just leveled him to 70. Okay. Now, the way you would level characters, you might think that this is the way. It's not. You will get a couple of chocobo feathers, and I recommend you come here and level these free behemoths to level 70. Nobody else is worth wasting chocobo feathers on. Okay, they're not. They are just not, because there's another way you can level them. So so that would cover leveling. That's how that would cover leveling to a certain degree. We will get back to how you can farm for levels for the characters that you don't care about. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about gear. Now, you will see, or first we talk about the drawing and the banners and blah. So this is the starter banner. The starter banner is only here for 7 days from when you actually begin your account. So I've reset this account a bunch of times, and this date has reset with it. And I don't recommend resetting, quite frankly. Eventually you will get all of their gear. Now, what you're interested in, why I recommend this banner, and I really recommend it for new players, it's because usually if you look at any other banner, actually let me first talk about their gear. so that you can understand. Every character has a 15, a 35, an EX, and if I want to talk about their gear, I'm going to have to actually show you their gear. Oh, and it's gonna be by obtained. I so hate this sorting system. I hate it. Who sorts by obtain? Let's be serious here, game. Okay. Every character has a 15. Why is it called 15? Because it has the starting CP is 15. A 35 because the starting CP is 35. An EX, it's just what they call this weapon that's shiny like that. It has this glowy thing over here that's called an EX. And I don't have lightning LD. Good job. Okay. I do have, yeah, an LD. LDs have these galaxy weird looking backgrounds. That's how you know it's an LD. And the burst, which has this kind of a background. So not every character, my apologies. So the 15s with the 15 CP, okay, the 35s with the 35 CP, and the EXs. Every character has one of these weapons as of right now. Every character will eventually get an LD. Not everybody has an LD, but they will eventually, every character will get an LD. Now, the bursts are currently, for global, are currently limited to only protagonists and antagonists of a certain series. So only the protagonist and antagonist will get the burst. Nobody else is getting the burst. Alright, now the bursts and the LDs are pretty rare weapons as of right now, and they can speed up your process of, let's say, farming and getting to tackle high level content way faster than anything, than any other weapon. Which is why it's so important that the starter banner has free 1, 2, 3 bursts, free LDs, when any other banner has 1 LD and 1 burst. Okay? That is the difference. Like, Bart is an amazing unit. He's 1. He's 1 unit versus 3. There is no contest here. Unless Bart is like going away in 3 days and you really have to grind for him because he's a meta unit, you should get him if you can. This should be your priority banner, and you should try and walk away with all of the bursts and all of the LDs, hopefully by the time this banner goes away. Be careful, you have a countdown. On any single one of these banners you have a countdown. So if you're pulling for a unit, you need to make sure that you have everything that you need from them before the banner goes away. Otherwise, you're basically just wasting your time. Why? Because every time you pull for a unit, every one of these 10 plus will give you about 20 G tokens. And why is that important? Because this game has something called a pity system. Mog, I'm trying to prove a point, Mog. Okay, this game has something called the pity system. The pity system will allow you to actually get the weapons, because whatever you pull, it's random, okay? You might get it, you might not. But the pity system will actually allow you to pull these weapons if you get the number of tokens. So for example, I currently don't have Lightning's LD, let's say that by the time I reach 300 G tokens, I will now get Lightning's LD. I can then exchange the 300 G tokens that I got for Lightning's LD. That is just an example, okay? Like, let's say you don't care about Lightning's LD. Let's say you care about Lightning's burst. Well, that burst is 500 G tokens. How much does that equal to? I only know this in terms of gems, so don't ask me in terms of pools, okay? In terms of gems, that's 75,000 gems that you have to waste for an LD and an EX. And for a BT, that's 135,000. So that is a lot of gems. And they will be hard earned, trust you me. It'll take you a long time to even farm those. Yes, you're a new player. Yes, you have a lot of resources available to you. It will still take you a long time to farm them. So you have to be careful where you put your resources into. You don't want to put your resources in a banner. Let's say, okay, this one's not a good example. It's here for, I don't know, 2 or 3 more weeks. But let's say that this banner, which one? Kadaj, I think. Okay. So Kadaj goes away. No, this one goes away in 2 days. Do you really want to waste all of your resources on a banner that's only here for 2 days? You might not even get all of the weapons that you need off of that banner. So in my personal opinion, just don't. Don't waste your resources on a banner that you don't have the time to farm up the resources in order to get what you need from them. Alright. Because the characters are free, so you will get the characters for free. And what is the thing that you need to pull the gacha element of this game is their weapons. And their armor is something that you have to token. So let's go and talk about their weapons. But let's first yeah, no, we can, I believe we can, or can't we? No, we can't actually do anything. So okay, let's just go in here. If I click on this, it'll take me back to the outside. Oh, I hate this. I hate this menu. Why isn't party just available to you no matter what? Whatever. Alright. Where did I? Okay. So let's talk a little bit about their passives, or let's say their skills, or their skills. Yes, their skills. Okay. Every character will have the following skills: bravery and HP attack. That's something that every character has. Once you raise their crystal, I'm sorry, another level. Once you raise their crystal, you will start getting 2 additional abilities, which is for Cloud, that's skill 1 and skill 2, so cross slash and finishing touch. Now once you get to crystal level 65, you will also get this third ability, let's say, which everybody calls C65 from crystal 65. So this will be skill 1, skill 2, crystal level 65. Everything else has to either be equipped, so the EX, the LD, or the burst, those 3 have to either be equipped on the character for them to have it, or you have to have the passive of that ability, otherwise you cannot use those abilities. Everything, so these are all from your crystals. You automatically have them equipped on the character. You can enhance them by gaining passives for them. For these, at the very least, you can enhance them by gaining passives for them. But the LD, this one would not exist if Cloud was not equipped with his LD. So for example, currently on Lightning, right, I currently have equipped her EX, but let's say if I don't feel like equipping her EX, I'm just gonna equip her burst. Well, then I'm gonna have her burst here instead of her EX, and I can't use her EX anymore. And quite frankly, that is just terrible for Lightning at the beginning. It's just better. It's just better. That's where your delay comes from. You want the EX, okay. Let's talk a little bit about how you would enhance your skills in order to actually have them permanently equipped. So it is actually a good thing for me, and also a bad thing, but I would say mostly a good thing, that I got a lot of these for Lightning, so that I can show you what an enhanced skill looks like. Because I got no LDs. I think I got only 1 LD for Cloud. Okay, thank you, Cloud. Okay, so your level 50, you're 15. Remember how Cloud has a skill 1, skill 2, C65? Those skills are not stuff that he already has because of his crystal level, but they are not, let's say, the final form of those skills, if you want. in order to actually get the full benefit off of their skills, and some of them are really important. Like for example, Agrias can't 100% stun unless you actually have her Bloomstone maxed out, whatever. Their skills correspond to their weapons. So skill 1 corresponds to the 15 CP weapon, and if you equip this weapon, you will gain an extra chance of paralyzing, so the paralysis rate will go up. It won't be guaranteed, but it will go up, and it will boost its damage. Skill 2 corresponds to the Fairy 5 CP weapon, and this will just boost its damage, add some extra buffs to Cloud, which will help boost his damage, as well as give him an extra use of finishing touch. Now, if we go back a little bit to Cloud, you will see that finishing touch has 3 uses. You only get to use this 3 times. If you would have his Fairy 5, let me actually show you, because I can actually show you this. So let's say we equip his Fairy 5, right? Do you see? Now it has 4 uses, because it gained that passive that the Fairy 5 has. Now, there is another way for us to gain that passive without crippling Cloud so much, because that weapon only has 35 CP. Point number 1. Point number 2, we lost his LD. We cannot use his LD because it's only usable if you have it equipped or if you have the passive. So let's say that we want to get Cloud's Fairy 5, that extra use plus that extra boost in damage and all of that. In order to get those abilities and have them permanently be equipable on Cloud, you actually have to max limit break this. In order to max limit break this, you will see that you have 3 little dots over here. You have to feed this weapon 3 versions of its own type. This is where these come in. You need, in order to max this thing out, this will not max out if you take Cloud off for leveling. It will not. Okay, you have to use these. You have to use the armor tokens, or what is that? These are not called armor tokens, but either way, we want to enhance this to maximum. So we limit break it 3 times, so you need 4 copies of this. We limit break them 3 times, we enhance them until it turns, the background turns this bluish color, and you see all of these light up and be really pretty and stuff, and they tell you, look, you've acquired a passive ability, yay! Which is exactly what we saw this weapon does for Cloud, right? Okay, so we've acquired a passive ability. Now, if we go back to Cloud, and we unequip this and equip the LD back because we want the LD back, you will see that he lost some stuff, some stats over there, but we now have in the equipment passives, we now have a passive. The passive for that weapon, which will allow Cloud to have finishing touch plus 1 use, boost in bravery damage, boost in a lot of other stuff. So let's say, actually let me take Cloud up for a run without that passive equipped so that you see the difference in damage. So let's say we want to go, I don't know, I always pick the gold region. I'm just a fan of having a lot of money. In this game you can never have too much money, okay? This is how you level your characters, by the way. You just come to the gold region. Now I would not recommend that you come to the level 10 quest. You can go to the level actually yeah, let's just go to the level 70 quest. And this is how I personally level my characters. I just bring them to this quest. I don't waste chocobo feathers on them. It's not relevant. They will be leveled eventually, and you need a lot of gold. And you need to just farm a lot of stuff. So either you need gold, you need crystals. The same bloody thing, just bring them to the level 70 quest. Don't bother wasting chocobo feathers on those. Just keep those chocobo feathers for when there's a character that you need to max right now, like right now. That's what I usually do, but these guys will probably die, that's not a problem. Alright, so let's just show you how much damage this man does right now. So he did about 24,000. Let's just, I don't know. Oh goodness, that was actually useless because he had no brave. Good job to me for not realizing that. Okay, 24,000, so... And we get free skills from the LD, of course, which is always good, such a good thing. C, can I get... No. Alright, let's just end this. Or not? Cloud, what are you doing, man? Cloud? So that's about 23,000. And he only has 3 uses of that. And see, even if Bart was dead, he still gets the point, so it doesn't matter if they die. Who cares? They will still get the points. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to equip the passive. So we'll go to passive abilities to equipment. We will equip the passive for his skill 2. And let's start again. Oh, Bart is dead again. That's fine. Actually, I could have broken that guy. Well, okay, so now the ability, as you can see, it becomes reddish sword, or whatever you want to call it. I'm just gonna kill that man because he wants to go after King. Now I want you to look at those buffs. Okay, he's already doing 4,000 extra damage. Now look at his buffs. His buffs got extended by 5 turns, and that is not a small thing, okay? 5 extra turns of those buffs is great. Plus we got another use of this, and this one, in Cloud's case, whenever you use finishing touch, cross slash becomes a guarantee paralysis. So you will guarantee stun the next enemy if they're not immune to paralysis, because that is a thing, okay? But either way, now Cloud will do more damage with his OD. Because you have those buffs, and having those buffs for more turns means that Cloud does more damage for more turns. It's a good thing. It's always a good thing. And again, having the extra skill use and all of that, which is really good. And you don't want to have, like, see how useful the LD is? The LD gives you an extra skill use, so you want to have the LD equipped. You don't want to have the Fairy 5 equipped in order to just give Cloud those buffs. Which is the reason why you want to max Limit Break, the 15 and the Fairy 5. so that you can get his get the extra buffs on his skills so that they can hit harder, get the extra extension, maybe an extra skill use. Some of these extensions give them AoE damage and so on and so forth. So personally, just keep that in mind. Every one of their gear, in terms of their weapons, every one of their weapons needs to be maxed out. So for example, lightning here, I just got a fourth one today because I summoned like crazy on the starter banner to try and max out their gear as fast as humanly possible. And the burst, by the way, does not need to be limit broken. If you look here on their gear, you will see these small little symbols over here. That's the sign that this weapon needs to be limit broken, and the amount of crystals that it has here is the amount of duplicates that it needs. So this weapon needs 4, let's say. The burst does not have that, okay? The Fairy 5 has that. And once you limit break a weapon, when you get an extra copy, it will tell you that you've already acquired that passive, so you will know what is free to sell, because you don't need these anymore. And you want to sell them for a very specific reason. So let me go back and sell some of those weapons. So let's just unlock this. Select it for selling, this one as well, because we already have the passive and we want to do the same for Cloud's weapon. We want to unlock and sell it, and look at those things go up. These are called power stones. Now power stones can be used to replace a limit break for a weapon. Now this is not exactly a fair trade. It's actually better if you get extra copies of the weapons, because for every silver weapon that we just sold, so the one that had the more whitish background, you get 4 of those power stones, and for one weapon, so if you would sell this ones for example, you would only get 1 power stone for it. And you, let's say, for the yellow weapon or whatever is for the silver weapon, you wasted 4 of them, so you get 4 back. But it's not exactly a fair trade, because let's say for something like LDs, which are very hard to come by on banners, let's say that you would want to max limit break Cloud's LD. Now with the LDs you actually get something pretty cool, and that is that it shows you what the limit break does. The limit break, the first limit break, let's say, will raise Cloud's attack, so he will do more damage. This is not just with the LD, okay? The increase in attack is for all of his other skills, so he will just do more damage in general, okay? It will slightly increase the bravery damage that he does. So certain skills have bravery and HP attacks, or better said, certain HP attacks have bravery damage attached to them, and because they have bravery damage attached to them, it will do more damage to the enemy than a regular HP attack, because a regular HP attack will just expend what you already have, but a bravery plus HP attack will steal some bravery from the enemy, and that will increase the amount of damage that you do to them, which is why this is pretty good. You will get extra attack, so you will just outright be hitting harder. You will also have the chance to steal more bravery from the enemy, and you will also gain an HP and bravery attack plus, which will give you a chance to steal more bravery from the enemy and hit harder. Okay, that would be the limit break 1. Limit break 2 will delay the target by 1 turn, so, and raise your attack again, so Cloud will just be hitting more harder. Delaying the target by 1 turn is pretty good, because Cloud's already delays the target by 1 turn. Now he AoE delays everybody on the field by 2 turns. That's great. That's amazing. And he's hitting harder. Limit break number 3 will again raise his attack, so he's again doing more damage, and will also give him an extra use of the LD. The LD currently has 3 uses. then it's gonna have 4. That means you will get 4 extra uses of finishing touch as well, because the LD grants you a free skill use after you use it. So its finishing touch suddenly goes from 4 uses to 8, which means you get 8 guarantee stuns from Cloud and 8 guarantee launches, which makes him one of the best and most versatile units out there. But seriously, like, limit breaks are no joke, and you should always Did I equip the wrong? Yeah, apologies. Let me correct that. Oh, I love it when I do that. Okay. Cool, me. Good job. So what happened there was that I had already increased this one's level. So this is level 20. The other one was level 1. So I had already invested some stuff into that one. I was trying to feed it. Usually won't let you feed the stuff that you've already increased into something else. Whatever. Let's go back to talking about limit breaks and weapons. Okay. So where is Cloud? Cloud, get back here. Alright, this one. You know which one is equipped because the little character icon will pop here, like will fade in and out. That's how you know which one of them is equipped. So let's take this one and we want to limit break this. And let's say that we don't have any more copies of DLD, so we can't actually max limit break this. Well, you can actually with the things that we just sold. We sold about, what was it? We sold two blue weapons and 1 gold weapon. So we got about 9 of these. You get 1 of them by default just by logging in. Well, you can use these to limit break your weapons. Now, the way the trade works is that for every one of these limit breaks, you have to use 4 of these. So in order to, let's say you have only 1 copy of Cloud's LD, you would need 12 of these in order to max limit break Cloud's LD. Because we already have a copy, we only need 8. And if I'm not doing this because I'm still summoning on that banner, so I might get another LD copy from Cloud, so I won't have to use as many power stones. But you can use power stones to limit break weapons, and power stones can be bought. I will show you where to buy them, but I will increase that just to show you that Cloud will do more damage now. With the LD, that is. He won't get an extra use because we haven't gotten to the next, so we only got the extra attack increase, the bravery. We got the HP and bravery plus, which are better versions of his HP and bravery attack that we do have now. I don't have this. I can't max limit break this, but my goal is that by the time the starter banner goes away, hopefully I can max limit break all of their gear. They're 15, they're 35, so Squal, I need 1 more copy of his 15 and 35. Lightning, I need 1 more copy of her 15. I'm hoping that I can use these to max limit break them, and then try and max limit break the LDs and the EXs with power stones that I get by selling those weapons. And that's how you max limit break a character. You have to build their 15, you have to build their 35, you have to build their LD. The EX is the same. Look at this, it's the same. You have to build it as well. The EX also needs limit breaks. And the EX is similar to the LD in the sense that it will actually tell you what the EX does upon limit breaking. Okay, so let's say that we want to click on Lightning's EX and we want to see what the limit breaks does. So this one will increase the bravery damage dealt with army of 1 and army of 1 plus. Now this is pretty good because that means that Lightning is just getting more damage. She's gonna be doing more damage with her EX. This one will allow her buff the Knight of Ethros. So for Lightning, her EX buff is the thing that essentially allows her that upon breaking an enemy, she will immediately get an extra turn. she will be able to act on, for an extra turn, and that turn will not count to the turn count. So that's how you reduce the turns, because the number of turns is important to your score on a stage, and that's how you also get her ability of constantly jumping in front of enemies, or better said, looking like she's taking a bajillion turns all at once. It's one of the things that helps her, it's actually the thing that helps her do that, because all you have to do with her is just break an enemy, and then she gets a free turn immediately afterwards. Now she doesn't get a free ability, or she does upon using the EX. She does get a free ability use, which is why her EX is one of her best weapons, so really try and max limit break this. The recast speed of Army of One, so the EX is a bit of a strange one. Let me show you what I mean. I hate this so much. Okay. The EX is a bit of a strange one, because if you click on lightning, okay, we go to equipment, you will see that the bravery attack has no uses. I told you that skill 1 and skill 2 have a certain number of uses, right? EX and HP and bravery have unlimited number of uses, like you can use these forever. EX is the same but with a caveat. It's a recast type. Recast means that it takes a number of turns for it to charge. Now you can charge it faster by using skills, so skill 1, skill 2, LD if you have it. But the recast speed means that it's not an ability that you can just outright use, so it won't be available to you at the start, at the very least not in its normal variety, whatever. We're not gonna be talking about those because it's not important right now. The EX has a number of turns, okay? So the EX has a number of turns that you have to wait before you can use it. It is technically speaking a skill that you can use for free forever. It will take you a while to get to the EX, but you can use it forever. And that is a little bit important because it's kind of sort of a filler for certain characters, and it's also a very hard-hitting attack for other characters, and you don't have to worry about the skill uses. You just have to pray that it charges faster or force it to charge by using skills. Now, I don't exactly know the recast speed. I'm sorry, I'm not an expert on how fast this thing charges or how many skills you need to use to charge them. It really depends. But this is technically speaking a skill that lasts forever. Let's say, unlike DOD will have a very limited number of uses. The burst has only one use for right now. And the HP and the attack, the bravery and the attack are unlimited, but everything else has a number of uses. So the EX is a little bit of a strange one because while it is technically speaking a little bit similar to the LD, so it has these limit break effects, it also has a realization stage, which holy I do not have the resources for that. I may do a follow-up video on my main account where I show you how to EX plus weapons, because quite frankly I am nowhere near EX plusing anything. Lock, keep that locked. I am nowhere near EX plusing anything right now. I am dirt poor, okay? This is a new account, I am nowhere near EX plusing anything, but the EX has to be limit broken twice because of the realization that I just mentioned, but quite frankly I'm not there. If you're there, great. I will attempt to do another video on EX realization, because quite frankly as a beginner in your first week you probably don't care about this. I don't think you would have the resources, at the very least from what I've seen from the resources that they give out. I don't think you will have the resources to immediately EX plus something unless you're actually willing to spend money on this game and buy a pack that will just outright allow you to EX plus something. which is actually pretty expensive, so I don't know. I would know because I bought those packs on my main account, not this one. No intention of wasting money here. No, thank you. Okay, so those are your weapons. And the most important thing that you need to remember about weapons, you want to max limit break them. If they have these, you want to max limit break them. In order to gain passives, the passives you can equip on characters from equipment. Okay, now, characters also have armor. Armor comes in a different variety, and I hate this obtain tab. I really hate it. Seriously? Seriously, it's the second option. Just give me the second option, game. Okay. So they have some characters, some of the beginning characters. I think Arc 1 or most of Arc 1 characters will have these silver weapons. Most of the new characters don't even have these because they're silver. But let's say that you are building lightning, right? And lightning has these. In order to figure out that that an armor belongs to lightning, it will glow, have this glowy effect when it is equipped on the character, and the character's background will change to this yellowish icon if you have both an armor and the weapon piece equipped on them that's for them. So as you can see, this one is affinity for lightning. This will have this much stat increase in general for her, but it will also raise the defense by 84 for lightning specifically. So nobody else is getting this, just lightning. These things, as you can see, also have limit breaks. So if we want to, I mean, I'm just gonna show you how this thing is, because quite frankly I don't think it's worth max limit breaking silver weapons. But once you max limit break these, they will become gold. They will become 5-star weapons, but they're not actually 5-star weapons, okay? Like they are not actually 5-star weapons. Some of these can be useful, but most of these raise defense. That one raises HP. They're actually kind of shit. Oh goodness, I don't like them. Okay, are not that useful. The armor tokens that are actually useful, the armors that are actually useful are the ones that you have to token. The way you token the armors is by going here in gear. And searching for your character, they are ordered by series. So for example, this is Final Fantasy 6. We already got Cloud from Final Fantasy 7. We want to go to 13. We're just gonna go to Lightning. Caius, there's Caius, so Lightning should be somewhere around here. Saz, Gabra, Lightning, there she is. Okay. So the actual 5-star weapons, you cannot obtain them from banners. You just can't. Alright, they finally decided to load, you evil little thing. Okay, so these gear, the 5-star gear can only be obtained by exchanging these kinds of tokens for the gears. Now, the gear also has 3 limit breaks that you need to perform on it. So this gear, in order to max out this gear, you will need to spend 20 of these armor tokens in order to buy 5 of these gears so that you can max out this gear, because the requirement to unlock this gear is to have this one unlocked as a passive. Now unlocking this one as a passive means max limit breaking it, just like it means with the weapons. So there really is no difference. The gear is just the same as the weapons, except for the fact that the gear is not as forgiving as the weapons. So while with the weapons you could have maxed out, let's say, her 35 before her 15, with the armor, no. You have to max this one out, and you don't need to max this out. You don't need to max the silver gear. So let's say Squal has this as a silver gear. You could have just went for Squal's equipment and not maxed it out. For example, Cloud, this is Cloud's gear maxed out, so this would be the gear that I just bought for Lightning. Only, as you can see, this one is not limit broke. For Cloud, did I seriously skip him? Okay, for Cloud I already maxed limit broke this gear and already have the passive for it, and I didn't need this gear maxed out, so the silver gear is not required. What is required is for this, now that we have this one, let's say maxed out, let's go back to Cloud. I want to go to Final Fantasy 7, so that would be, we are at 10, we don't want to be at 10, we are at 6, we want to be at 7. There it is. As you can see, everything else is required because you need to max out this gear first, but because we already have this one maxed out, and as you can see, this, it has this small little symbol here telling you that this is maxed out, now you can exchange for this. But you need 20 of these, and you again need to max out this gear, which means that you all will again need 3 extra limit breaks, so you will need to buy 4 of these. So in total, a maxed out armor of this caliber will take you 100 of these tokens, because you need 80 for this and 20 for this. Alright, and you will say, wow, that's a lot, I don't have these tokens. Yeah, they're farmable somewhat, kinda, sorta. Technically speaking, as a new player, you will have a lot of places that you can farm these from. You get them through story events by just going through the story. You will get some of them, you get them from lost chapters. So just going through and clearing the lost chapters, you can get to those tokens. You also get them from summon board farming, and holy hell, I'm not. I will leave summon board farming and EX Plus for the next video. Because that is that one is crazy. Okay. After you maxed out that gear, you can actually come to the 3rd level of gear, which is this one. And this one's actually right here. So let's say you would have maxed out Cloud's other gear, you would have been able to actually get this one as well. And this is you need to defeat the Lufinia stage. It's from Lufinia stages, it's from the hardest difficulty. You're not doing this anytime soon, okay? Like, unless you're willing to spend crazy amounts of money on these games to max out your characters fast, you're not doing these anytime soon. So just don't worry about it. There's no other way to farm those, it's just from Lufinia stages. Alright. These are... I want to explain those, but quite frankly, are they useful to you right now? No, not really, probably, yeah, okay. So you have certain shops, just like you have the high gear, guard armor, the guard armor tokens, you have bloomstones and the token exchange EX, as well as where is the BT shop. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about these. In the power token exchange, you can find most characters' gear. They're 15, they're most characters' low level gear. They're 15, they're 35, and some characters have some unique weapons. We're gonna have to go and find Cloud again. Okay, that's Final Fantasy 6, so that's Kefka. Okay. Alright. So, looking at Cloud, this is not available for all characters, okay? Cloud he's 15, So in order to see what this is, you can just click on it and see that this is called the 15. This is the cross slash. This is the ability that we actually want to increase. It's the one that I have 3 copies of, but nothing else. Then this is the 35. You can get these off of banners on which cloud is featured, but this one, however, is only available here. And there are certain characters, not all of them, who have these weapons. And what this does is this allows Cloud to remove 1 buff when ability is a critical hit. I don't know if you've watched videos about Cloud where they call him a dispeller. This is the weapon that allows Cloud to be a dispeller. If you don't have the passive for this weapon equipped on him, and the only way to get this weapon is by exchanging it here. So right now, let's say I have 10 guard armor tokens I can exchange. For 10 of these, I can exchange for this weapon, but I will still have to max limit break this because this weapon also has limit breaks. And I can't get this weapon anywhere else, so I would have to exchange, I would have to get about 40 of these in exchange for 4 copies of them, or I would have to get 1 and then have 12 tokens in order to max limit break this without exchanging for another copy, because you can't get this off of any banner. And Cloud is not the only one. I don't remember if Cloud is not the only one, but he's the most relevant one. Like whenever anybody let's say brings up, there it is, so protagonists have World of Illusion or affinity weapons or whatever. HP is at least 80% of max bravery. This is not even remotely as useful as Cloud's weapon. Not exchange for it. Just outright. Oh, even Laguna has one. Laguna has one, so it's not just protagonist. Speed while on HP is at least 50%. You know what? That's not bad. Laguna buddy, I did not know that you have that, but I wouldn't exchange for it anyway. Oh look, this is no. That is so weird. I'm fairly sure that that is yeah, it is because it's for Laguna. Okay. So certain characters have these types of weapons. Quite frankly, as far as I remember, Cloud is by far the most useful, and everybody says that if you want to build your Cloud up right, you want to get this and max limit break this. I agree, because having a dispeller on hand is always good, and it's always funny to watch Ifrit's buffs go away. So if you want the dispeller and you're lacking for one, you can always go for Cloud. But you will have to max limit break this, so remember that. Because you don't want to equip this. This is, it's got pathetic CP and stats, okay? You don't want to waste the OD on this. Okay. So this is where you can get their 15 and 35 for the rest of the characters. So let's say that you summoned on a banner, you pitied that person's EX or LD or burst or whatever, and you didn't get their 35. You can just get 25 of these, and the nasty part about it is that you get about 3 of them per week. That's from weekly missions, and also you can get about I believe it's 1 or 2 per event. You have to farm certain tokens in order to exchange for these, but quite frankly they're pretty rare to come by, so just hope and pray that you get everything from the banners that you're summoning on. The berries, that's what I do. That's what I'm gonna do on this, and quite frankly 35 and 15 are not that hard to come by, so I would really keep these tokens if you want something like Cloud's weapon or somebody else's weapon that's just as interesting as Cloud's. I don't think there's anything else more interesting than Cloud here, quite frankly, that weapon for Cloud. So I would have just exchanged for it, but I don't know if I'm keeping this account yet, so I'm not gonna do that. Alright, now their EXs also have EX shops. This is a place with all of the EXs on the bloody planet. All of the EXs for all of the characters, every single one of them. I don't care much for those, but let's say that you missed out on an EX. Quite frankly, these are not farmable anywhere. They're usually event stuff, anniversary and stuff like that, so I would not there is one place that gives you EX tokens, and that is clearing a version of Dimensions End, but it only gives you one. So which one of them was it? This one, EX tokens, Dimensions and Order. So if you clear Dimensions and Order, you will get 10 EX tokens, and the weapons from here are exactly the same as the weapons from here. So you have all of the weapons in both banners, let's say. I believe there were some events that gave you EX tokens, but very rarely, very rarely. So I would not count on this one. This one, yes, you will get an EX for free once you clear Dimensions and Order. And at this point in time, I would really just keep it for, let's say you go the whole entire, you end up playing a character, a burst, and you don't get their EX. I would keep your EX tokens for that situation. Because now they're much easier to get than how they were when they initially came out. And burst tokens. Alright, you're probably not gonna be able to get burst tokens, because the way you get burst tokens is by completing challenge quests. Perfecting challenge quests, I'm sorry. It's not even completing them, it's perfecting challenge quests. Challenge quests are level 180 quests. They are chaos, they are the second hardest difficulty, the hardest being Lufenia. And you have to have a party of synergy. Party of synergy means characters that are for that event. Most often than not, you will not have the party built to go for these. So I would not get my hopes up anytime soon. For completing some of these, it's actually pretty hard unless the character is someone like crazy like Tifa, who can probably solo her own challenge quest. If you build her, yeah, sure, probably, but if you don't have Tifa as synergy, most likely impossible. It'll take you a while until you can amass enough of a roster and enough of a powerful characters to go for burst quests, so I wouldn't worry about them in the beginning. What I would worry about is these. This is probably my last bit of... No, actually I need to talk about summons. Goodness, okay. So this is a daily quest where, as a new player, you will have this filled up, and quite frankly I recommend that you just come here and make sure that you do this quest every day. Your daily quest is usually just completing completing one stage, whatever stage. If it has to be one stage, make it this stage. Because this is the way that you can EX plus your weapons. For EX pluses, you actually need these these adamantium nuggets, ruined adamantium nuggets. Per each event that comes out, you if you complete the chaos quest for that event, I'm sorry, not complete. If you perfect the chaos quest for that event, you will get 5 of these, 10 of these, and usually a book and 2 books. 10 pages of each book. And it's really hard to actually gather this kind of material unless, again, you want to spend money on the game. That is entirely up to you if that's what you want to do. But most people are probably not going to want to spend money, so you want to farm for these. And you can exchange these. About 10 of these will get you 5 of these, so it will allow you to max out your characters faster. So I would recommend just always going for these. Don't go for anything else. Yes, you see this? Don't go for it, okay? This is way more important. Don't go for this. Okay, this is also the only place where you can get these things. I would not go for them. It's more important to have an EX plus than it is to have level 70 characters. It really is. It really is. Like, that is my advice for you. The power of EX Plus is something else, and I recommend that you focus on that. So don't go for most of the other things unless you have your characters already maxed out. The characters that you need, and this guy is not very difficult. He's actually... oh, I didn't even get a burst. I should have gotten Squal's burst, but that's fine. I don't exactly need a burst to beat him, I just would have been easier. Alright then, Lightning doesn't have her LD. It's actually kind of annoying. Squall, buddy, can you turn right? Not to save your life, eh? Okay, he can turn right, thank you. Now you are just being nasty. But then again, Cloud is going to prevent us from getting broken past his turn because he's already broken, he can't get broken. So these two will just go behind him, which is fine because we get a lot of turns. Unfortunately that buff prevents debuffs, so don't waste your guarantee stun on that. Okay, so it took 2 skill uses and her EX is only at like... how? He's gonna still get broken, so quite frankly I should have just HP attacked. I wasted my time. Okay, let's delay this man. And he got another buff, are you kidding me? Well, I'm not gonna hold on to this forever, you little... We managed to stun him. It's not guaranteed that he will not get stunned with that buff over there, but... And let's delay. And I want to do some damage with Squall, and Squall is not doing any damage, that's fine. And Lightning will get an extra turn because we just broke him with the EX buff. We want to... Does this give me buffs? No, it's not at the point where it gives me buffs. If I would have had... You can charge your summon faster by launching. You want to be in her first skill ability, otherwise she will only delay by 1 turn. That's one thing you want to keep in mind with Lightning. Can we maybe get another stun? Yes! Yes we can! Good! Okay, we have the summon now. We're just gonna wait and see if we can delay or stun him again. And if we can do that, I'm not gonna summon yet, but if we can't, I'm just gonna summon. If Lightning can keep on getting turn rates, we may just not have to. Okay. So now we can delay with Cloud. That should put him here. Yeah, because it breaks him and then delays him. And he got turn rate! You shit, I got summon. You are not doing this to me, okay? Like you're just not doing this to me. That better be clear. And the summon will give you some extra stats, so if you have a hard-hitting stuff like the Reacts, I do recommend that you summon because you will do more damage. And of course delaying this man is always a good thing, as well as launching him into infinity and beyond. Because he thinks he's funny. He's not. Look at Squal actually doing damage. Look at Lightning actually doing damage. So yeah, this man is not that difficult. So I recommend that you always do those quests per day, because you will be capped out at free here, and as a beginner you will always be capped out. So if this is the first time that you are starting this game, you will always have free hunts available to you. So you want to do all 3 of them preferably, and daily or once every 3 days just remember to do your hunts. Now let's talk about the last thing that I want to talk about, because this video is already pretty long, which is World of Illusion and rank. Why is rank important? Rank is important because of the World of Illusions. You have the number of your rank is basically the amount of SP that you have. And the amount of SP that you will have will determine where you can go in the World of Illusions and what you can do, because a certain quest costs you about 50 SP, right? So if you're looking there at rank 31, you will not be able to do those. It just doesn't allow you. It simply doesn't allow you to do those quests. So let's say you want to get rid of those bloody novice missions and you want to level Ifrit. Now I already leveled Ifrit, so I'm just going to show you the second best summon in my personal opinion for beginners, which is Alexander. You might not have a healer. Alexander can heal your party when your HP goes below a certain threshold. He will heal you for a certain number of turns. So let's say you don't have a healer and you're bringing Lightning, Squall and Cloud because those are your best units and you have nothing else built, and you're gonna get HP attacked. Well, Alexander can help you with that because Alexander can heal. So I would personally recommend that you focus on Alexander. Shiva is also a very good one. Shiva is good. Diabolos is very good. But Diabolos is more good in the higher tiers, not right now. Now, in order to level a summon, you wanna come over here. Let's say with your, you can actually bring your farming team, but you don't get enough SP here, so I personally recommend just bringing your 2 AoE damage dealers. Squall and Cloud are both AoE units. And it really doesn't matter, your friend doesn't matter, not for this part, not for the World of Illusions. And with auto duel, so I didn't set auto duel plus. Okay, your friend really doesn't matter. Now, there's a difference between auto duel and auto duel plus. Auto duel will use only your bravery and HP attack. Auto duel plus will use first and foremost your LD if you have it. It will just spam LD, which is the reason why Cloud and Squall are so good, because they have AoE HP, bravery plus HP attacking LDs, which means they will hit everybody. They will kill everybody. So let me just show you. Actually, let me just first show you auto duel. So as you can see, they're using their HP attacks because they can kill. If they detect that they can kill, they're just gonna use their HP attacks, but it's their HP attack is single target, right? Now let's use auto duel now. Auto duel will use LD, and if you have no more LD, it will alternate between skill 1 or skill 2, or if you don't have LD at all, it will alternate between skill 1 and skill 2. And you can use this method with these two. You can use this method in order to run through all of the story stages. So every one of the story stages from Act 1, just use these two. Set it to auto duel. And personally, I would redo this once, I believe, one more. And the next one I would redo it one more, because you need the small little stuff that you get from here in order to level Alexander. Now if you chose a friend, when you redo a mission you will come back to this select screen just to choose another friend. And then you have to sit through this loading screen, and I don't know who has the patience for that. I don't. And of course, if you didn't have auto duel on, you have to activate it manually. Alright. So we are here for these small little things. We're gonna need a lot of them in order to level Alexander. And if you want to level Alexander, you want to continue down this path with these yellow little stuff. It's the same for Ifrit. If you would if you are trying to level Ifrit, you would go to Ifrit's World of Illusion. And now, because I want to redo this stage, come on, work with me. I'm just gonna choose none. Oh goodness, I didn't click the auto duel. It's fine. I would have started with auto duel, it would have been better, but point is you can have this clicked and they will just auto duel by themselves. You don't have to worry. But because I didn't, I'm just gonna have to click this pretty fast. Okay, and we can click retry, and now it won't take us back to the starting screen to select our friends. Okay, and after we finish that stage, we will get the next two yellow stages. We want to continue, or golden stages. We want to continue down these golden stages if you want to get the material to level Alexander. This is going to give you material to level your armor and your weapon, but quite frankly, it's the small material that doesn't give you much. So I would only do these after I've completed all of my summon boards, because quite frankly they don't give you enough to be worth investing your limited amount of points into them. And I'm just gonna show you, so you can't actually go to this world unless your summon is level 30, the specific summon. So let's say if you want to go here to Diabolos has to be level 30. Ditto for Alexander and Ramo. Now if you want to go here, your summon has to be level 20. The way you get your summon to level 20 is by completing these trials. So I'm going to show you how my Ifrit trial looks like. So for Ifrit, I ran through all of these. You will always have a stage here that essentially will not unlock unless Ifrit is level 15. So let's go and enhance both Ifrit and Alexander. We can actually form a pact with Alexander. So we just got the light little crystals for Alexander. These ones, you need one of them to form a pact with Alexander. The way you get them is by just going to his stage. Alright, it's Ditto for Shiva, Odin, and Ram. Now what we want to do is we want to enhance Mr. Ifrit up to level 5, up to level, I believe 15 is at maximum that we can go, because I think we still have one extra. So let's see, I may be wrong, we may be able to enhance him too. So level 15, that will unlock the gate that was locked. We want to level Alexander to as much as we can. Don't level the Mugo, Chocobo, and Silk until you have all of your other summons leveled, because they actually use these kinds of material and you don't want to waste them on these summons. You want to waste them on the good stuff, which is the big summons. And as you can see, Alexander will constantly keep on increasing the amount of HP that he heals. So he grants HP regen for 3 turns when HP falls below 20%, but if you keep on increasing his level, those percentages will increase. I believe at level 10, right? Alright, Alexander. No, at 11. When do they increase? Oh, there it is. So now it's 9% when HP falls below 50% instead of 20. So you really want to increase these, because continuously increasing them will just increase the amount of bravery damage that they do. Some of them will get HP attacks later on. And I would recommend that you just go through and get all of your summons to level 20. All of the important ones, the Mugo, the Chocobo, and Silk can wait. So now that we've increased Ifrit, we have this thing unlocked. And we get a stage that we don't even need to complete here. Because Ifrit is already at level 20, so now that Ifrit is at level 20, we have this one unlocked. World Evolutions. Are you ready for pain? I hope you are, because this is pain right here. This is absolute nightmare fuel. So this is where you will get your summon boards. Each character has 2 types of boards, character boards and summon boards. You have 10 summon boards per your 10 summons, and you have 4 character boards because of your 4 skills, those skills being skill 1, skill 2, EX, and LD. Now most of the people who don't have an LD will obviously have only 3 character boards, but the summon boards are your biggest source of damage. The amount that they provide for you with no CP, the increase in damage is absolutely staggering. Absolutely staggering. The amount of stats that they provide you. So quite frankly, I know that I can actually do the stage with the characters that I currently have. By the way, Auto Duo Plus does not know how to use a burst. That's the reason why I would equip the LD on the characters, not the burst, because Auto Duo Plus cannot use a burst and will not use a burst. So if you have to pick and choose because you don't have any of the weapons max limit broken, choose the LD. If you want for your farming needs, that is. Oh goodness. I don't think he's gonna kill that, yo. I would have done something else to prevent the break there, Squal, but sure. Get out of here, man. Yeah, level 70 quests. Auto Duo no longer works because your characters are too weak to deal with them. Like at this point in time, you're gonna have to take direct control. And these are the materials. This is where you get the materials in order to start leveling Ifrit up to level 30. And you'll start getting the summon board points from these missions. Don't farm this one. You will lose your mind farming 6,500 points per character if you're only farming 5 points. Trust you me, that is not where you want to farm. Now unfortunately I don't think I'm gonna be able to open up Ifrit because I think this one costs 40 SP and I don't have 40 SP. Yep. Okay, this one costs 40 ESP. Well, I'm going to make another video about the actual stuff. I'm not gonna get into this one right now. It's actually already pretty big. I recommend that you get all of your summons to level 20. And that means all of these you want to get to level 20. It took me, I believe, just a day to get if it's level 20, so it should not take you that long. Okay, 20 days, kind of. But you get more SP, and with more SP, like it took me a day to get if it's level 20 when I had 30 SP, okay? When you have 81, you're doing much better. But in order to get this rank up fast, like, you can restore this SP with potions. Whenever you level up a character, you will get gems, 100 gems, and you will get 1 potion. But the potion will restore the maximum that you currently have. The maximum SP that you can have is 200. You don't want to waste a potion on 30 SP or 81 because it will not restore 200. It will restore 81. But if you restore at 200, then you will get 200 SP. Which is the reason why I say don't waste your potions. Don't ever waste your potions until you have 20 ESP. In order to gain rank, you just run around here, just complete these, go here with Cloud and with Squal, they will crush these. Do the farming, get your characters. After you get your characters, okay, Penelo, whatever. After you get your characters, go to the gold or to the crystal level and just level your characters again with Squal and Cloud. And if you're worried about Squal and Cloud losing HP, all you have to do is equip Alexander, and Alexander will start healing them, which is the reason why I say you should focus on Alexander. So go in here to the gold region with Alexander. If their HP falls below a certain threshold, Alexander will start healing them. I do believe it is 50%, so those enemies will probably not do that amount of damage to your characters, but it's always better to have Alexander there because his healing is pretty good if you don't have a healer. And for small stages like that, when you don't need a healer, it's better to have Alexander, because Ifrit requires you to be at 100% HP, so he does boost your damage by a lot. But if you, as with what happened with Cloud when I was farming, if you lose that 100% HP, then Ifrit is not doing his job. Ifrit is not raising your attack. So that's the reason why I would prefer Alexander in the farming sessions, or at the very least that's how I like to play. So for example, if I want to raise Bart's level, I would actually have Alexander as my summon instead of Ifrit. Come on. Yeah, this guy. And you can also use him in the Cactuar place if it is better, because you can, with the combination of Cloud and Lightning, you can delay the Cactuar to the point where he doesn't get to HP attack you, and obviously raising your damage is better. But if you're scared and the Cactuar manages to get the better of you a couple of times, you can just bring Alexander and Alexander is gonna heal you. So having a safety net there is always good, especially in the beginning when you don't have a healer and you might need one. So that's why I recommend Alexander. Shiva's also good. Everybody's good. All of them are good in different... All of the summons are good depending on the team composition and whatnot. But yeah, as a beginner, just first clear out those beginning trial missions, whatever. Run through these with the characters, MOB your weapons and your armor as you get them, and level your characters by going to the gold regions. Get a lot of gold, because you will need a lot of gold to raise your summons, to raise your gear for everything. Do your hunt, do your daily hunt, and that's it for the first video. I'm going to talk about some of the other stuff in another video because it's already pretty long. This one's already pretty long. So yeah, that would be it for me for this one. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.